This is Anthony Mason. You're watching Real Fan, Real Talk, coming at you live from my house.
Face facts, Real fans, realtalk.com. Where Arthur Diamonds, Trip Young, and intern Tom. For the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro, Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. Real fans, realtalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
We'll log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest. I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell them Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. Real fans, realtalk.com. I'm out, boy. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live episode of Real Fans, Real Talk. I'm Mark the Statman Skevich. We have a very special episode today with son of New York Knicks great and professional basketball player Anthony Mason Jr. on the program. But before we get into that, let me introduce my co-host, the one and only Trip Young.
What's going on? It's a lot of things that's been going on in the sports world. We had a big boxing fight this past weekend. My man Ray Rice got a 2-game suspension. But before we do get into all of that, first and foremost, you know, I know you guys saw who introduced the show in the beginning, Anthony Mason Sr., who's also an extended family member of Real Fans, Real Talk. But it's definitely a pleasure to have his son now joining us right here live in the studio. And I actually have gifts for him and for Mark the Statman Skevich. If you guys don't know, you know, last week we had the Rifty Awards, so everybody came suited and booted. We was giving out awards to all the athletes. But the week before that, the Statman actually lost in shot for shot. And when you lose in shot for shot, you have to wear team apparel of a team that you hate. And since Statman is the biggest LeBron hater outside of Skip Bayless, we have come back with the patented "It's a LeBron thing you wouldn't understand" t-shirt. So Statman, if you would, please put that on. And while I'm talking about shot for shot,
I don't understand and I never will, but...
Well, listen, we know that, you know, Anthony, we know that you used to being on the court playing, but we're going to ask you later on in the show if you could just put this ref jersey on and judge when we get to the halfway point and go into shot for shot. So that's for you. All right, now, with that being said, man, we got a whole lot to get into. Anthony, again, it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Pleasure, man.
We're going to start, though, really quick. We got to get a couple of topics out of the way because it was the this past weekend they did the ceremony for all of the Baseball Hall of Fame inductees, which was led by my main man, Joe Torre, who recently turned 74 years old. He was joined by a couple of other heavyweights, Frank Thomas, Tom Glavine. Statman, you want to talk about the rest of the nominees?
Yeah, you had the two of the best 1-2 punches in baseball history in pitching, and Greg Maddux and Glavine. Then also their manager, Bobby Cox, Joe Torre, and Tony La Russa, 3 of the top 5 winningest managers of all time. As Trip Young mentioned, Frank Thomas, one of the best right-handed hitters in history. And who am I missing there?
Man, Tony La Russa. Did we get to Tony La Russa?
Yeah, Tony La Russa, yes.
Frank Thomas.
That's all 6 of them. All 6 of them were inducted.
It's a big jump from last year because last year there was 0.
Yeah, so it's good to see that they're actually still inducting people into the Hall of Fame with all the PED scandal and all the people being omitted from it. That was one of the big stories of the past week. But we do have our special guest, Anthony Mason Jr. Anthony, what was it like growing up with an NBA All-Star and your dad, Anthony Mason Sr.?
It was a great experience, being that I got the ability to live like both sides of it, because I didn't grow up directly with my pops, but I was able to see him whenever I wanted. I went to visit a lot, but I grew up in Memphis, so it was just seeing the both sides of the road, seeing the limelight and seeing all the things that you can get if you work hard, then going back home and seeing the reality of things, you know, hard work and seeing what you got to grind to get up out of, with my mom's, you know, working for us. But growing up, you know, it's always great because you have that role model in the NBA, somewhere that you want to play, a goal that you want to reach. So it's always great being able to look up to that and then be able to not even just to look up, to reach out and go and talk to that person, you know, and it's just beneficial that that's your father.
A lot of people idolize their father, see them as their hero, and then I can imagine that it was similar to you, even probably even more so, seeing him on TV playing in the NBA. Was he like your idol growing up?
Yeah, as a basketball standpoint, definitely. Being that I love basketball from day one since I was younger, being able to see your father out there on TV playing against greats like Michael Jordan, playing against the Olajuwons and things like that, you know, being in the finals, being at the top level of basketball is definitely great and definitely an inspiration for a young kid growing up.
You mentioned seeing him put in the hard work and getting results. He kind of mentored you in a sense to help you with your game and the hard work. What was that like with the father-trainer type of relationship?
Because I wouldn't say it was so much hands-on, more of verbally and just vocally talking to each other on the phone. It was just because of situations, you know. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. I grew up with my mom, stayed down there with my mom, but she never let a day go past to let me know about my father and keep our relationship tight. So we was always speaking, you know, good advice, bad advice, with everything. Just not even just basketball. I think me and my father have more of a closer relationship outside of basketball than just talking about sports. So just teaching things about life and growing up around him and seeing things, I learned a lot.
Now, you have taken in his footsteps though from the basketball standpoint. Right now, you are playing. Or last season, you played for the Sioux Falls Skyforce, which is the Miami Heat affiliate. Before we go into a little further in the interview, I do want to show some footage. I gotta say this because you know this guy, you know, is a dunker. I done seen some of these clips. I done seen some of these alley oops, a couple of and ones out there. I want to see you in the dunk contest or something. But we're gonna see if we can jump into a little bit of that footage, some of your highlights from your Sioux Falls days, and some training camp stuff. So we want to see if we can jump into that. We can get the guys upstairs to run that video for us. That's right, because we live right here on Real Fans, Real Talk. So sometimes we gotta get the guys upstairs a little pep talk just to get them. Live on Real Fans, Real Talk, with alongside Trip Young and our special guest Anthony Mason Jr. As Trip Young mentioned, you are playing for the Sioux Falls team, which is the Miami Heat D League. There was rumors that you were going to play last year for the Lake Erie Bayhawks, which is the New York Knicks D League team. What happened with that?
Just the way society runs. You talk to people enough, things is just so socially motivated and so on Instagram and Twitter. So you say a little thing, you might have a quiet conversation with somebody and it's instantly on Twitter. It was just speaking today because of the opportunity of I guess the Knicks roster and how it was. It was just a little talk, but at the end of the day, I was going back to Sioux Falls to play. It was just gossip, really. And I didn't even know. I woke up, next thing I knew, it was a post on the internet. I Googled, and people think I was going to Erie. So
you were shocked by the rumors yourself when
yeah, like I spoke to the coach and everything because we was close. But I mean, it was me and my pops talking about it. It was just an opportunity. But I mean, the way the league is ran and stuff, because I played in the D League before, Sioux Falls already had my rights. So you know.
Yeah. Your dad did mention that actually during our interview with him that he was hoping that you would play for the Lake Erie Bayhawks instead.
Yeah.
Is there? Did you grow up as a Knicks fan as well because your dad played for them, or?
Yeah, like basketball. Actually, growing up that was the only reason I was watching because my father played. Like, I was one of those outside kids first when I was younger, just being outside with friends, going out. but I always stayed in tune with my pops and he playing. So definitely was a New York Knicks fan. As I got older, I turned into a Heat fan. D-Wade was like my favorite player. After that, it was LeBron. So,
That's a LeBron thing.
you know,
understand,
I'm
Steph.
loving this shirt. This shirt, I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
understand it at all.
Listen, the
I am
panel
not
loves it.
loving
Everybody
it.
You got to give love what love is given.
Everybody loves the shirt on the panel, Steph. Man, I think you might need to wear that on more episodes. Now, I want to go back to college because you played for St. John's.
New York, baby.
Was part of the reason of you playing for St. John's because your dad played for the Knicks, or what was the decision behind
Nah,
you
it
going to St.
wasn't.
John's?
It wasn't the decision. My decision to go to St. John's was really on me. Like, that's one thing. Like any decision that I make in life or basketball, anything, it's on me. My parents then raised me, you know, so I can make my own choices. They don't heavily influence. They got their, you know, what they're gonna say, and that's an influence on where I'm gonna go. But it was all on me. I just love New York City. I had family up here. It was a big stage to play on. I wanted to be a part of it. And I always wanted to play in the Big East. I had teams like Marquette and other teams in the Big East. But when I came to St. John, they showed me love. It was a family environment. You know, it was close to home. I used to come up here every summer, so New York was like a second home to me. So that was my last decision to making. But I guess the main probably was just the family environment. When I came here, everybody was cool. The teammates was cool, took me out. Coach was good. Norman Roberts was a good guy. You know, told my mom he's gonna make before anything off basketball or anything, gonna make sure I graduate. So that was all good.
That's right. Education is definitely important. We definitely support the education here on Real Fans Real Talk.
Yeah.
But now, so from St. John's to Sioux Falls. Now, are you going to be playing again this year for Sioux Falls, or what's the next step?
Nah, I'm taking my talents across seas. Taking my talents probably. I'm looking in Israel or in Asia somewhere. I played over there before, in Italy, France, and was in Japan. Last place I played was Venezuela. Just coming out of college, I never really wanted to go overseas. I ain't gonna lie. Like I never really wanted to leave because it's far from home. You don't have too many people over there. You gotta adapt to the way they live. You don't speak the language code. It was just all the negative things that I was thinking about. Not thinking about financially where it can have you in a couple of years if you just stay down there and grind. So
Plus the taxes.
it's no taxes. So you know, financially, it's the right move for me right now because, you know, I'm 27. I'm at the age where I got to worry about me. All that chasing the dream, knocking on the door, it's over for me in my standpoint, how I feel. So overseas is just that next look for me because D-League is good. Opportunity is great. You go there, you play well, you get the call up. But, you know, you got the politics in it, this and in it, everything that goes around it. It ain't like you just go there and you're going to get the call up. So.
Do you think that spending some time overseas will get you another crack at the NBA?
I'm pretty sure it would. You know, you play well. The eyes, if they want you, that's my thing with it. If they want you, they're going to come get you from wherever. So they don't never stop looking.
Spurs have good international scouts.
Yeah,
So maybe they'll,
facts. That's the main reason. So if they want you, they're going to come get you. But my mind is not even, I can't lie, it's not towards that. It ain't even that I'm playing so hard to get back to the NBA. Right now, it's financially. Taking care of myself, making sure my family, my side of the family is good. And that's where I'm at. So financially and the way I want to live, the way I have to take care of myself, it's my time to go over there and make a life for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Your dad played international too, and he mentioned as far as like playing internationally, how they treat you out there, how you're like big time stars out there. So you said you played before. Was that accurate? Like you get a good feeling from playing overseas, like the way the fans treat you there?
Exactly. I think the only thing that you're missing between NBA and overseas is the fame, the limelight, and that's what we chase the most. I think, especially with me, I was in Miami, I was in training camp, preseason, touched there, I was in the locker room with LeBron and D-Wade, and you just want to get back to that atmosphere, that life, you know what I'm saying, outside of just being in there, playing hard, playing every day, practicing. And overseas, it's the same way. And just like you can see in the FIFA and overseas sports, that it's so much pride in that flag that you're playing for. So you're not really just playing for the team or you're playing for that country. Yeah. So there's so much pride in that. So when you play well for them, they show you as much love as you will get over here, besides the commercials and being on TV and the sponsors and all this stuff. But, I mean, it's all opportunities.
There are deals overseas as well.
There's opportunities for all that, yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying it's not on the level that it is in America. Facts. But definitely, you can go over there and be the superstar that you is over here. So
And you come back with that financial security
Yeah.
and everything.
facts, and it just takes you time. Like I said, when I first left college, I wasn't on that. I wasn't even thinking as far as that. I was just thinking about, getting to the NBA. This is where I want to be. This, if I'm not in the NBA, I'm nobody. But years of going through it, grinding, you get a better mentally feel for everything because you go through the ups and downs and you know where you really need to be. And that's what people got to get to. Like, where do you really need to be?
Your dad also, he played international, and then his first few chances in the NBA, he didn't really get a chance to start or really get much playing time at all. Does that motivate you in the sense that you know that it's still possible that he didn't get drafted out of college, and do you think that's going to be a similar situation for you? And does that, the fact that he was able to do it, motivate you at all or no?
Yeah, it's motivation. I mean, being that, like I was saying before, they always look. If they ever looking for you, they gonna come get you.
I mean, Chris
If you the
Copeland
man,
came over 2 years ago.
facts. Like, I didn't even know how old he was. I didn't know that he was over there for a minute and then came. I thought he was a rookie coming out of college and not know. So, I mean, like you said, Chris Copeland, there's a lot of people that come over from overseas. Like the Knicks guard he was overseas forever. Like, he never played. Prigioni,
Came
and
over
he gets
in his
older.
30s.
Yeah, come on. Like, so it's always, I mean, a motivation factor. What motivates me now is money.
I
Facts.
think that motivates all of us.
Yeah.
So
Anything that motivates me now is money, because financially, that's the most important thing. You're good and you well.
you mentioned seeing LeBron and D Wade in the locker room. Do you ever get a chance to talk to those guys?
Yeah, like recently, I took my brother to the game that was in Brooklyn when LeBron hit 50, 49. So I got to speak to them guys. It was always a good relationship with them, like bigger brothers and stuff.
You mentioned your brother Antoine.
Antoine
who also
Mason.
plays college.
Yeah, he's
college
going
ball.
down to Auburn.
Okay.
Yeah, take his talents down to Auburn.
So everybody's on the move. Do we need to make a move too? Real fans, real talk, or what's going on?
Yeah.
We might need to take our time. I mean, I'm in Miami a lot. I've been back and forth. Yeah, had to check on LeBron, make sure everything was good after the championship loss and everything in Cleveland. So I mean, you know how it is back in. We get the connections. And
Yeah, he
all
told me. He spoke to you.
You know how it is, man. Everybody know me out there, so But that's just how we do things here on Real Fans, Real Talk.
Did he tell me to stop hating?
No. Listen, Stat Man. That's why he won't come on the show, honestly, because of you. I told him, I said, LeBron, listen, I'll talk to Stat Man. I'll make him wear the shirt when you come on. But you know how it is with LeBron sometimes. So you got to deal with certain things.
He does hold grudges.
Exactly. So
Plus, you got so much to do. Samsung, this, that, Bubblicious, anything.
Exactly. It is.
Anything you put LeBron in is gonna sell.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to tell you, Stat Man. You bring one Real Fans, Real Talk, but it is what it is. But
So who your favorite player?
It was Patrick Ewing, but now
I
don't
can't
really
say
have a
Pat.
favorite.
Pat, you're a great player, but I'm just saying right now in this era.
It's hard for me to have a favorite player because he supports the Knicks.
I can't really pick a favorite.
Oh, you're an old school supporter.
Probably. Yeah.
He's the oldest of old school supporters.
You got the ones out there they're not with the new school.
Well, I'm not a fan of Carmelo Anthony, who is in the news saying that he doesn't care about the money, but he took 122 million instead of 129.
Yeah.
It seems, he could have taken a lot less. What do you think of? Nobody's buying those comments, but what do you think of Carmelo Anthony's comments that he doesn't care about the money?
I mean, at the end of the day, if he signed back to the team, it was going to be for a lot of money, right? So.
33 million more than anyone else could offer.
So him saying that he doesn't care about the money is just a statement that he's telling you that he wants to play for the team, that he wants to be back in the city. I don't think you got to take that directly because any amount of money was going to be a lot of money. It wasn't like he was going to get 10 million a year.
Yeah.
So anything plus 20, 30, he was going to get. So you can't take that as a direct, you know what I'm saying? But that's what people do these days. They take people what they say directly and they just flush it down. Let's wash it until it's over. Now, that's what I said. That's the type of person I am. Now everybody thinks he's greedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think because he came back to New York shows the love that he had for New York. Because he could have went and got some more money, but,
Well, the Knicks could offer more than anywhere else. So, I mean, he did take 33 million more than anybody else, but he didn't take the max, the complete max at 129 million. He took 122.
Oh, so he's not greedy.
So
It's not
$7
greedy.
million is
Shout
a
out
lot of
Melo,
money.
man. You
I
gotta
would
get
say
that money,
not,
like
not
I just
greedy
said.
is what LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh did the first time around. I think that's
Yeah,
not being
but at the
greedy.
end of the day, you still getting a lot of money. Like,
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
He
getting
does
that money.
deserve it. He's one of the best offensive players out there. I mean, I think the chemistry changes when you have Carmelo Anthony on the team. You saw it in Denver. You saw it, they started winning more after he left than when they had him. And the Knicks started losing more after he came than when they didn't have him, as far as chemistry is concerned, and them running the offense through basically him. But I think things will change with Derek Fisher. What is your thoughts on Derek Fisher coaching the Knicks?
first of all, my hat's off to Derek Fisher because his resume is impeccable. You got plenty championships under your name, you got rings on your finger. Then as soon as you retire, you become a head coach of a great team like New York Knicks. So for people to even have, like for Phil, even him being his player, you still have to have that confidence for that man to come and be a head coach. You know what I'm saying? So hats off to him first. And then because of his leadership, you can see on the court just through watching him play, I think it's going to be a good thing for New York. But just like anything, I don't think it happens right away. So, but this is New York City, and they want it to happen right away. So,
That's true. We need
that's
that,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
gratification in New York.
it's gonna be a little hard on them because it's New York City. But I just think in the long run, it's gonna be good for them. Just give them a chance. Like you got to give Melo a chance, give everybody a chance to make it.
While we're talking about the NBA, let me go to a fan mail question. Jerome from Philadelphia writes in, with so many of the top NBA superstars pulling out of FIBA, do you think they can still breeze through the competition with the players that are left? And I guess this is coming after, Kevin Love just stepped down. Paul Millsap replaced him, and then now recently Blake Griffin, who had a little tweak in his back, is also stepping down to play in FIBA. But I'm gonna, as the baller on the pen, I'm gonna send that to you. Do you think that the U.S. can still breeze through FIBA with the roster that's there now?
I just snapshot and opened up the little pic to see who was out on the team, and they got a great team. You know what I'm saying? You got good big men, Drummond, you got Anthony, Derrick Rose is back, you know what I'm saying? Kyrie is out there, so really you still got
James Harden, Paul
James
George,
Harden.
Kevin Durant.
You still have the best players in the world on that
Yeah.
team. So
Do you think it's smart for Derrick Rose to come back and play in FIBA right now, coming off the injuries?
I will feel because if he feels that he's 100%, yeah. Now, if he's feeling any hinder in his ability right now, he probably should chill. But if he feels that he's 100% and should play, he definitely should play just to get those knickknacks out right now,
Yeah,
so that
before
when
the
the season starts, he'll be ready and fluid. Because I think that's what the game is missing. Definitely Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is the only player I was in college at the same time, and he was my favorite player. The game is missing D Rose, man.
Shout
Facts.
out to Jerome, the whole Philadelphia. What do you think if the Bulls? I know they're gonna make it to the playoffs this year with or without Derrick Rose. But if Derrick Rose comes back,
That's a fact.
if he comes, I think that the Bulls will make the playoffs regardless of whether, because they've been making it without him the past couple of seasons. If Derrick Rose comes back and he's healthy, who do you have in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Eastern Conference Finals? Facts. I gotta throw the king in there, LeBron.
I mean, I would agree with you on that one too.
Yeah, LeBron
I'm
and
biased though.
it just depends. The Wizards play very well this year, but I can't say they're going to the finals. They just got a couple of niggas, but I like the way they play.
They did get Paul
I like their
Pierce.
team. Exactly. I like their team. They build, but I mean, it's just going off fan base and things like that. I would say LeBron in Chicago or something like that. I don't think the Heat is going to be able to get back. I like the pace. It depends on what Paul George does. If he comes back with the demeanor that, is not just a superstar and I want to be the greatest player, not the superstar, but the best player, it'll be different. Because I think I don't know,
They did
if he
take
got
a
into
loss
it.
with Lance Stevenson as well, but
Yeah,
So that
facts.
might actually be a blessing in disguise. For
Might
him
be because
of all the
it takes,
controversy.
it gives it back to Paul. It gives the whole team back to Paul.
Yeah.
Without the outside thing. But I'm going to go with the Cavs and the Bulls, man. Hopefully we get Kevin Love at the
Now,
Cavs.
for Statman's sake, I gotta ask you about the Knicks. Where does that leave the Knicks at? Can the Knicks make it?
I want the Knicks to go far. I would love to see that. Because you need that blue and orange in the playoffs run, man.
But
I
can
haven't seen
they?
it.
Is the question.
Yeah, Melo plays hard, man.
You think that they can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Finals?
Yeah. With the just the East. I'm not talking about NBA Finals. Just to the Eastern Conference Finals. Do you think
Don't give
that
me the
Knicks-
line. I don't want to lie to you.
I'm sorry,
Don't give
Stan,
me
man.
the
I
line.
tried to
I don't want to lie to you, but I'm a Knicks fan. I like Melo. Melo's a great player. I think Tim Hardaway's a good player. More confidence with Tim Hardaway. He can be extremely really good player. He's got a great jump shot. He's athletic. You know, he's long, so he can play D. Not saying that he does, but he can definitely has the
That's the
ability
one
to be a
knock on
stopper.
his game, his defense.
Yeah, but he has. I mean, we both probably like the same size, so he definitely has the ability to be a lockdown defender. So it's just with the mindset. But they do got a nice makeup of the team. Phil Jackson's in the top office. Derek Fisher's on the bench. So that's that older big brother type feel because I think they will have more respect for D. Fisher as a coach. I think.
Yeah.
But finals, I don't know.
I think coaching was a big issue last year. I mean, the year prior they were finished second in the Eastern Conference, so they have a lot of talent on the team. It's just meshing them together. They're going to be running the triangle now with Derek Fisher, the Zen Masters there. I think a lot of people, including Trip Young, is severely underestimating the New York Knicks and not even putting them down as an 8 seed when I think that they're most likely going to be a 4 or 5 seed. I'm not going to say that they're going to make the Eastern Conference Finals, but I do put them in the middle of the pack with the Eastern Conference.
How do y'all feel about the triangle?
It worked for Jordan. It worked for Kobe. I guess it could work for Melo.
10 years ago.
I think
It's a while ago.
Melo has to pass the ball more. He can't just jack up a million shots a game. He has to get his teammates involved. I think that here's my issue with the Knicks. I don't really dislike the Knicks. The only time I really get on the Knicks is when the level of hate for LeBron starts to increase with the stat man. Then I'll point out all of the Knicks' flaws. But I actually gave Melo a lot of credit last year for what he was doing as far as rebounding the basketball. But he still has to move the ball. I think that they need to get Amari involved more on the offense because towards the end of last season, Amari, I thought he played really good basketball. His field goal percentage was high, but they weren't featuring him enough in the offense. I think they need a point guard. I don't think that Calderon is the answer at point guard for the Knicks. I would really like for them to go and get Rondo. I think that him playing alongside of Melo would change the dynamic of the team because
Rondo would change anything.
I mean, really any team he goes to. But with the Knicks, because it would take the ball out of Melo's hands so much, and you have someone who can actually really control the tempo of the game in Rondo, and he can also break down the defense. And then Melo's going to still get those same wide open shots. You know, he's going to get actually better looks with Rondo breaking down and penetrating into the basket. So I would like to see something like that. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., who I like as well. I wish he would work on his defense, though, in the offseason. But I think that they can do well. But, they just got to kind of get their act together. But right now, I don't see them, doing too much damage in the Eastern Conference. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to get past the second round.
They just need to get it back because I remember the days there it wouldn't be that you're from New York and not be a New York fan. I walk into Harlem, some guy from across the street told my man to take his New York Knick hat off. I was like, back in the day, that would have never happened. It's crazy. So,
well, they were actually good at that.
No, but still, for New York, you just gotta have the love. You gotta be down. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? But being that I play for St. John's, I know the up and down of fans. If you're not winning, then that is what it is. But I think I give them more credit than you. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll be definitely higher than the AFC because it's just a different feel.
The triangle's not that old. The Lakers won in 2010 with it, so I mean, you did say 10 years ago.
It was just the conversations in the barbershop and stuff like the triangle. So I just wanted to see how y'all feel about the triangle.
Speaking of taking shirts off, that you mentioned, it is the halfway point of the program, so I will be taking this.
It's still a LeBron
thing.
Whether you wear the shirt or not.
Off.
What makes you not a LeBron fan?
You know what really got me hating on him was
the move to Miami.
Not just the move to Miami. The whole announcement thing didn't really have me hating that much. But when he's guaranteeing 5, 6, 7, 8 championships, that's a little that still didn't really push me over the edge. What really did it was when he lost in his first NBA Finals with the Heat and came out with the comments, now you all go back to your regular lives, kind of making it, saying like, I'm an NBA,
Yeah, but that was more so to the haters, though.
But
That
yeah,
wasn't to
yeah,
everybody.
that's
That was
that's
to
to
the
the people
haters.
that. But come on,
Yeah, that wasn't the
you gotta
regular
weigh it
fans.
on both sides. Like, what about all the negativity things for people were saying?
And
I
even
mean,
with
facts, my fault.
with the 5 and 6 and 7, that was said at a rally, a pep rally for Miami Heat fans. It just so happened that it was televised. It wasn't like he was saying that to the world. We just 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was to Miami Heat fans, and you're supposed to say that to your team. You're supposed to get them hyped up and say, "We coming here to win. We're not coming here to play games." But we do got to jump into shot for shot. So Anthony, if you could throw on your ref jersey, we're gonna ask you to be the judge right here. You see the 5 questions right here, and Statman, you wanna break down the game?
Yeah, the way it works, we have 2 contestants, 1 judge, which will be our special guest, Anthony Mason Jr. 5 questions unless we go to overtime. Whoever the judge agrees with gets the point. If there is no disagreement, no point is awarded. The loser has to wear team apparel of a team that they hate the following week. As you noticed with me with that disgusting LeBron James shirt on.
Everybody else liked it. Come on, man.
Well, not the New York Knicks fans that do like the Statman out there. And
Unless he
fellow LeBron
comes
haters.
to the Knicks, then you'll be more than happy.
I
with
don't
that
like
shirt.
Carmelo Anthony, and he's a New York Knicks. So
He hasn't got to the ring.
I'll still root for him. I don't like A-Rod, but when he hits a home run, I'm definitely happy about that. So, but the challenger goes first, and could you start us off, our special guest referee Anthony Mason?
I don't
with
get a
the
whistle?
First question.
No whistles. There's no real flags on the play. But
I'm
you
trying
do
to
run
get
the show,
shit.
though.
I was falling into the whole act of it. A referee, I need a whistle. So
got a
I'm
mic,
going
that's
for the. I'm answering. I'm asking the question.
Yeah, just ask the questions, and whoever's answered you agree with most, you give them the point. If we both agree, then no point is awarded.
I can't read that well.
So then,
No, I'm joking. I got
I was gonna let that one go, fans. We all live here on Real Fans Real Talk. The comedy segment has begun.
you. Say, will
comedy
the
segment
make
never stops.
playoffs any? Will the Lakers make the playoffs at any point under Byron Scott era?
I'm gonna say no. The West is just too tough, and I just they lost Pau Gasol. They picked up some pieces in Lynn and Boozer, but we don't know if Kobe Bryant's gonna stay healthy. Not to say anything against Byron Scott, he just happens to be in the tougher Western Conference, and they kind of change coaches regularly over there. They did sign him to a 4-year deal, but if he doesn't win within the next 2 years, Kobe Bryant is going to be most likely retiring, from what he said, and just over the course of the next 2 years, I don't see them making it. And then after Kobe retires, it's going to be even tougher. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, unless Julius Randle turns out to be, Karl Malone type player or something like that, I don't think that the Lakers will win in 4 years underneath Byron Scott. Like you said, Kobe's older. We don't know how he's going to come back from his injury, and the team got worse. They don't have Gasol anymore. I mean, they got old Boozer, but he's kind of washed up at this point in his career. So I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, Statman. So
Both agree no point is awarded. Before you move on to the next question, Anthony, what do you think, though? Do you agree, or?
Yeah, I have to, judging by both of y'all answers, I wasn't even thinking, yeah, you're right. I never want to count the Mamba out, but like you say, he's older, he's coming back from an injury. Only thing I would think that because it's Kobe, judging about how everybody talks about him, he worked so hard off this season. If he didn't really play basketball this season, I have to say that he was in the gym every day. So, but like you said, they took key pieces away. Powell, they got Boozer. I wouldn't compare. Like, Boozer's okay. And then, like you said, Julius.
teams, Boozer and Powell.
Yeah, Julius Randle should definitely. I mean, he's a great player in college, but definitely he's a freshman. He's
Lynn
a
has his
freshman.
turnover problems. Nash has his health issues.
Lynn,
as well.
yeah.
I think
Swaggy
Kobe's
P is
going
a
to come
choke.
back and play great, but last year when he made his brief appearance, the team actually started doing worse. His numbers were good, but as a team, they just don't perform. I think he's going to average well over 20 points per game and do well, but the team I just don't think will do well.
I don't think Kobe suits fits in with other players that's just brand new like that, because he's such a prolific scorer and wants to win. So he would try to take over when things are just going as like it's not working. So, but I have to agree with both of y'all. So no points. All right.
That's what. Next question.
I told you I can't read. Will this be the Dum Sue? What's his name?
Ndamukong Suh.
The Dum Sue. Last season with the
wonton
Lions.
soup, just-
Sorry, I'm not. Huh?
It's not wonton soup.
I was finna say it sounds like something I wanted at the Chinese restaurant.
He actually is a
Facts.
tough guy though, so you might want to get his name right.
Nah, he gonna have to
Kicks
come.
players in the head while
Yeah.
they're down.
He gonna have to come find me. I'm straight, and my pop's Mason, so
That's kind of true too. He
we
probably
gonna
knows
handle
more
that
than
real quick.
They about the same size, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call pops on him. Yeah, but is this his last season with the Lions?
You know what? Even with all of the antics and stuff, and on the helmet, I think if not the best, I think he's top 3 defensive tackle in the league. And the area that the Lions need the most help with is their defense. So I think that they'll keep him in Detroit because that's their one hindrance is the defense. So they got to keep him because he's the anchor of the defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to offer him a lot of money, so I don't see him leaving. He is one of the faces of the franchise, despite the antics. There's a possibility he might want to play for a more competitive team, but I think he's been playing with Detroit all this time, and they're going to take care of him financially. I think he's gonna stay with the team. So, in agreement again. So, next question, please.
Yeah, I don't like this game because it's too much agreement. Like somebody got to be losing.
We're making your job easy.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like I want some. Okay, over or under 65 games played for Derrick Rose this season.
I'm gonna go. Damn.
If y'all don't dispute this, I'm walking out. Like if y'all on the same level, I'm walking out. No way I'm in here.
I'm going to go with the over. I understand that he's, had his difficulty with injuries the past couple of years, but, the first injury, the second knee got injured because of the first knee. Both knees have, drastically recovered, so I don't think it's going to have a similar situation that he had before. So I'm going to say with his conditioning and training that this will finally be the year that he plays close to a full season, and it's definitely much needed for the NBA to have Derrick Rose back.
All right, just for you, we're gonna disagree right now, because I don't think it's gonna be over 65 games. I think that the Bulls, especially this time around, are going to be overly cautious, and I think it's gonna be sort of a Dwayne Wade situation in Miami, where they don't want to push him back in too fast. They wanted to kind of slow play. So I think, especially on those days where you have back-to-backs, I think they'll give him that second game off. And I don't think that they're going to really push it right now. I think they want to kind of ease him back into it. So I'm going to say under.
He's not exactly as old as Dwayne Wade. He's 25 years old, so I don't think they're going to be giving him
injuries that he faced, Dwayne Wade never faced. We're talking about injuries that put him out for seasons.
Do I come through with a whistle, or do I stop this?
You just however you want to say, however you want to do it. It's on you. It's your call.
I don't know.
You got to decide who you give the point to.
Okay. Being that I'm gonna have to give it to my man right here. Facts. Yeah, I'm not gonna go under. I'm not gonna go under. Like you said, he dealt with the injuries, but it wasn't the same knee that got injured. It was a whole nother knee. Being that I believe that's gonna. Just thinking hypothetically, spitballing here. I'm spitballing. It's gonna give him more balance because you hurt one side, you hurt the other. It gets you to. No, not even. But when you rehab, you gotta like. That's probably why the other leg got hurt, because when you work one side of your rehab so much, you kind of like forget about that other leg, so it becomes weaker. So when you got the type of balance where he's now working both legs to get him back in strength, it might be better for him. And I'm just gonna go over because, like you said, it's been a whole year. He's been working hard. He's with the USA right now, so and in confidence of that the league needs Derrick Rose back, I'm gonna go with the over.
All right, point goes to Statman. Next question.
If Kennedy and Ward met at a catch weight, who could win?
Triple G and Andre Ward. I'm going to go with Ward because Triple G would have to be, probably going up in weight, or which is usually harder, or even if Ward were to, drop weight, it's easier than it's easier for the person that's at the higher weight now, in my opinion. I just think Ward is a more talented fighter. So.
You know what? I'm gonna go the other way. I'm going with Golovkin. 30-0 right now after this weekend's fight. 27 knockouts. He's a power hitter, and going up and down in the weight class. I mean, it could go either way. It just depends. I mean, we saw Roy Jones Jr. go up to heavyweight and beat Ruiz for the championship belt. We saw Adrian Broner go up 2 weight classes and win. So it's not, I don't think it's really the up and the down in the weight class. It just depends on the fighter. But Golovkin is more of a power fighter, and I just like his chances over Ward in that situation.
Like you said, I'm gonna have to go with stats. So I'm gonna go with you with this one. 30-0, 27 knockouts. I can't compete with that.
Nice.
Sorry.
It's tied up right now.
1-1.
1-1.
Okay.
Last question is the
Let's
tiebreaker.
see.
We need this.
Oh well, we know it. We know an answer to this one already. Over or under 40% chance the Cavs make it to the NBA Finals without Kevin Love.
I'm going to go with the over. LeBron James made the NBA Finals with the, in my opinion, less talented Cavaliers team years ago. He has more support now. It's
Is he a LeBron fan now?
It's called
confused.
strategy. It's called strategy right
He
now.
got the referee
This is
for
game
it?
strategy. Yeah.
Is this strategy right
You
now?
understand, ref. Thanks, ref, for understanding
I'm
the
confused.
strategy.
I'm not. I never took away from LeBron James being the best player in the world. I never go and say
okay.
something like that. I do hate on him, but that doesn't mean I don't.
So you're just a hater, okay? Just a hater, I feel you.
Just a LeBron hater.
You know the facts, you know the reality, but you're just a hater.
Exactly.
I got you.
So,
Unadulterated hate.
but I would have to give him at least a 50% chance. I see the Chicago Bulls if Derrick Rose stays healthy, which I think he will, and the addition of Pau Gasol, that they'll probably make it. But 40% is a low enough number to at least give them a 50% chance that they make it to the NBA Finals. It's either them or the Bulls, in my opinion. So
I know it pains you to
40%
say
is
that
a little
though,
low.
that the King would go back to the Eastern Conference. I know it really pains you to say that.
I mean, I'm just going by percentages. I say over 40%. That doesn't guarantee. That doesn't mean that they're definitely going to
anytime
make
you have
it.
to say LeBron will make it somewhere,
I think
know
the
it
Bulls will
pains
make
you.
it, but percentage-wise, I would say it's over a 40% chance.
Nah, but I mean, of course, I'm going to agree with that. One is the Eastern Conference, especially now that LeBron moved, that shifted the power in the East. So I got to agree, which means that we're going to need you to come up with an overtime question.
I was just thinking about that too. Like, do I just come up with a random question?
Right off the top.
Popeyes or Wendy's?
Well, it's usually helpful in sports.
We don't like giving free drops here on Real
Yeah.
Fans.
Neither one of those organizations cut the check, so we cannot use that as a shot-for-shot
Let me
question.
go.
Well, maybe they cut a check to Anthony Mason.
okay.
You're going on Real Fans, Real Talk. You
I
gotta
need
make
that,
a
right?
couple
Popeyes,
drops.
Wendy's, I need that lifetime supply.
Well, I'll take the fries from Wendy's. Okay, if that's what we're going with, I like the fries at
I
Wendy's.
like the fries better
The
at
chicken, I'll
Popeyes,
probably
actually. Them
go
Cajun fries.
You losing right now. I'm
And
finna
then-
give it to him right now. He's losing. He's just saying Wendy's fries over some seasoned Popeyes fries.
I'm just not feeling the Popeyes fries. But in any event, we got to keep it in the sports round.
Okay. Let me see. Surprise move. Was it surprising to you, or a good move by firing Mark Jackson and picking up Steve Kerr for the job? Because his record was good, everything was good, team whatever. But I just want to know, what's
I
your
would
view?
right now, just coming off of where the season ending, I would say a bad move. Mark Jackson is a great coach. He did something for them, taking them to the playoffs in back-to-back years for the first time in, I think it was like 20 seasons. And I think that that Warriors team reached their ceiling of where they're going to go right now in the Western Conference, because the Spurs are too good and OKC is too good. So I don't think, unless the Spurs and OKC wind up playing each other in the second round, which usually is not going to happen because they're usually 1 and 2, I think that they really hit their ceiling. I think it was a bad move firing Mark Jackson. for an unproven Steve Kerr. Yes, he does have the player resume, but as far as being a coach and coming in, I think he will do well just for the simple fact that he studied under Phil and under Greg Popovich as well in San Antonio. But when you have somebody like Mark Jackson who is proven and who did a lot for that team, I think it was a bad move.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm just gonna add. I mean, come on, Mark Jackson. I can't go the other way with that.
What's
I'm
going
sorry.
on? What's going on? I don't know what
thought we
camera
were
we're
making
getting. Is
your
it
job
different than
way
one?
easier
What is he
before,
saying?
Yeah, now's gonna be
It's
harder.
going to be a similar situation of what happened with Denver. They had George Karl, who's coach of the year, and then they blamed the coaching for them not doing well in the playoffs. It's a tough Western Conference, and George Karl was a great coach for what he did with the Nugget squad and, you know, a more talented Warriors team. But I think that, you know, Steve Kerr isn't gonna be able to do as well as Mark Jackson did. So I think it's a big mistake on their part.
Another question.
Double overtime.
Do you agree, though?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to see Mark leave because he was doing a great job. His record was good.
Would have liked to see him.
I would
coach
like
the
him
Knicks,
see him
but-
to grow with their team.
Exactly.
With Stephen Kerr, you know what I'm saying? Because you
It
know
was
they
too
had
short-lived. They didn't give him a chance because, and like I said, they don't. That team reached their ceiling in the West. If they were in the East, I think he could have took that team further. But in the West, the teams that are better than them, or there's a huge difference.
Okay.
I think it was too soon to let him go. But hopefully Kerr does well. I like Kerr, so I hope he does well for them.
daily double.
Let's do it.
Daily double. I'm gonna ask you this, okay? Lance Stevenson. First contract was offered, he denied it. Now he's for the Charlotte Hornets. Do you think that was a bad move? So he took the contract and stayed with the Pacers, or waited it out and got his money? Because at the end of the day, really, he's still getting the same $9 million a year.
Well, I mean, he felt that he deserved a lot more from the Pacers. I mean, he's obviously deciding on.
You
going
Lance
elsewhere.
Stevenson, though. You're Lance
Yeah,
Stevenson.
I mean, doesn't he still get more per year though?
What is it?
It's $27 million.
So it's 9 for
Yeah,
3
for
years.
3 years.
But the other contract was 8 to 9 million too for the Pacers, I think.
Well, was it a shorter?
40
2 years?
It
or
was 4 years and $40-something million.
42 or 43 almost.
Well, maybe, in my opinion, he wanted a shorter deal because he's still young and could, you know, renegotiate a contract later. And going to Charlotte, where he'd be closer to being more of a top dog out there, and, you know, probably his stats will go up and he'd be more of a desirable player when that contract is up. So I don't think it was a bad move. As far as championship competitiveness, obviously the Pacers are a more competitive team, but for him, his numbers are going to go up, and he's going to be a more desirable player down the road.
You Lance Stevenson. I stay and win with the Pacers. Let's get a whole new start with the Charlotte Hornets.
All right. I always say this. I always say that you play professional sports for 3 reasons: to make money, to win championships, and when your career is over, to make it to the Hall of Fame. So I'm going to say that he should have stayed in Indiana because that's the best chance that he's going to have of winning an NBA championship. I think that with Lance Stevenson, the Pacers had a very good chance of this year making it to the NBA Finals. And since he got that same paycheck that he got anyway, you know, to go to a worse team, and, you know, he was pretty much coming into being, you know, that guy on the Pacers anyway. As far as being the 1-2 punch, it was kind of like a Westbrook Durant or LeBron Wade kind of situation with those 2 guys, because he really stepped his game up. I think he had a couple of triple doubles last season. I mean, and in the playoffs, even with the Pacers, to be honest, I felt like he actually played the best. I mean, outside of, you know, blowing on LeBron and all the recklessness that he was doing, but I think that he
enjoyed the recklessness.
did really well for the Pacers. So, you know,
That
I would
Pacers
have
ship
stayed.
was sinking in the second half of the season
I
too,
would've
so he
stayed
abandoned ship.
in Indiana. As far as going down to Charlotte,
He has a better chance of
team
being an
that's
all-star on
not
Charlotte.
gonna make it out the first round of the playoffs. So I gotta go, man. I'm trying to get that championship, and he, like I said, he's gonna get the same amount of money. So I would have stayed in Indiana.
Charlotte's a playoff team now, even more so with him.
They're not a
already.
team that's gonna make it out the second round. No, the Pacers are a team that can and still can make it out the second round without Lance Stevenson.
I will have to agree with both you guys, and then I'm gonna pick. I definitely agree with you as far as staying, want to be on a part of a winning team, being a part of a winning program, but I would think there's more towards college. Like when I get to the pros, like I'm sorry, money is my motivation financially, and where I want to be as an individual. I know it's a team thing, but in the pros, I have to agree with you. Like I can go there, be my own person, I'm my own superstar. I definitely think he has a better chance of being an all-star with Charlotte than he will be with the Pacers. Not saying that next year he wouldn't be an all-star with the Pacers, but he can showcase his talents better with Charlotte because he's going to be that man. He's that guy. Coming from the pub and everything's coming from Pacers, going to Charlotte, it's going to be a lot of hype behind it. You know what I'm saying? With him staying there, it would have been a little hype, but he still would have been playing second, robbing to Paul George. So I'm going to have to go with the big guy.
Statman, you got it.
Statman.
We're both pretty big, but
Yeah.
thank you.
Actually, I'm slimming down. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
So-
the shirt kind of saggy over, so I
Yeah,
see yours
so-
kind of more fitty, the bigger guy.
Exactly. But Statman, you got it. Thank you for judging that. That's just a shot for shot. We do got to jump into this date in sports history, though, really quick. So I'm going to start it off on this day in sports history in 1957. Floyd Patterson TKOs Tommy Jackson in 10 rounds for the heavyweight title.
And then this day in sports history in 1961, the Philadelphia Phillies lose their first of 23 straight games.
Take that last one.
And in 1984, on this day, it was the 23rd Summer Olympics that opened in LA,
That's right. That's right.
sunny California.
Now, if you guys are just joining us, this is Real Fans, Real Talk. We are live right here on BronxNet. Myself, Trip Young, Mark the Statman, Skevich, and our special guest co-host, Anthony Mason Jr. to my left. I got to remind you guys to make sure that you check us out on the Block Talk Radio Network this and every Sunday live from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. For all you fans out there that want to write in, want to send questions to myself or the Statman or any of our guests, fan mail at realfansrealtalk.com. You can also hit us up on the web, realfansrealtalk.com, or like us on Facebook, facebook.com/realfansrealtalk, on Twitter at realfantalk, and on Instagram at realfantalk, or hit us up on the group page on Facebook. We go back and forth with our members all the time. Whatever's going on in sports, we talk about it not only live on the set, but also on the group. So any questions that you guys have, just send them in. But I have a question for you, Anthony. I know that basketball is not the only thing that you have going on right now. Another thing that you have in common with your dad is that you both are doing some acting. And right now, I got the word. I don't know if I'm supposed to, if I can say this right now on the show, but you did get the lead in the show that's being produced right now. Can we talk about that?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't say the lead. I'm one of the main characters, though. It's a show that's coming out. It's called Harlem Knights, Knights with a K, about a basketball team from Harlem. They grew up together, players that grew up together, went on to college, won big, and now the show is about just them coming back home and dealing with the reality of after basketball. Some made it to the pros, some still playing overseas, but you're dealing with the reality of being home, dealing with your family financially, dealing with your kids and stuff. So it's just, stepping off that pedestal, being that great player and coming to the hardships of real life, like, and I gotta really get it. So I'm very happy to be a part of it. Film and TV is something that I always wanted to be a part of. I went to school, graduated with bachelor's in communications, but through that I took mostly production classes, TV and film. So I always I always had the vision for a lot of things, very creative. My mind just goes. So I write a lot and I like to direct, but stepping into this acting thing was just out of nowhere. I took probably like one acting class when I was in college, and I liked it so much. I just like to talk to people. I'm a character, so I can't wait to get on set and get this started.
Now, have you written anything that you're going to be producing at any point? Or?
Yeah, I like to freelance write a lot, freestyle write. If anything I think of, it might be a story, it might be just a situation. I like to just get on my iPod or get on my computer and I start to type and it ends up a story. It ends up 3-4 pages or something. So I haven't really just published anything out or nothing like that. I just keep it to myself for right now because I'm a basketball player right now and that's the means to all financially and just who I am. So, but I do like to step outside of that because I just feel like it's the way society runs. If you're blessed with the ability to do a lot of things, why not? Why hinder yourself to just one lane, you know? So I step in it all and I like to do it all from directing to editing to now acting. So I got my own website, Southern Fried TV, basically like a hip hop website. I did it basically because I got a lot of homeboys that's home and they rap, they do music, but they put their all into their studio time and getting their music out and not into like marketing themselves and putting it out there as far as like promoting, advertising. So I just gave them an outlet as far as my website to put their videos up for people to come view them. So, you know, if you want to, www.southernfried.tv, you know, so I got that going. And like you said, this film stuff is a must. I just love it. I probably got it from just listening to music and just visiting stuff, so.
And that was my next question was the music thing, because I know you also dabble in music. We actually have a mutual friend over at Rack City Studios, so I know you're doing a little bit of music. So what's going on with that, with the music?
We was in my friend's crib and just how people get around. You know, you sit around, a beat might come on, we start freestyling. And I got a little ability to freestyle a little bit. So we just went to the studio, just so happened it was your friend in Rack City. So we dropped the song, but primarily I'm in there. I like to help my young boy Bless out. He's a rapper from the Bronx and he's doing well. Got a couple songs out and I got my homeboy that I grew up with down south named Memphis Mitch, he raps. So I just like to help him. But as far as music goes, that's where all the film stuff came from because originally I love music. Music moves the way, you know. It works the soul, like if you're happy, sad, or whatever. So it came from that. I always been a music lover, but I never was like a rapper or anything like that. So I was like, well, how can I be a part of it? And when I hear music, I vision stuff. So it just came from that, and that brought me into shooting music videos, directing, editing stuff. That's what basically pushed me to my communications degree and what I wanted to do. So that's how I started with the music thing.
All right, well, we are running low on time. We're going to have to get you to come back one of these days because I see like it's a lot more that we're going to have to get into.
Yeah, man.
Especially you're going to have to keep us posted on what's going on with the overseas and whatnot. I might have to fly through overseas and come to the game, something like that. Just the stat, man. You know how we like to travel and whatnot. But we're going to get into the final thought segment. But Anthony, can just tell the people at home how can they find you or keep up to date with what you're doing, your Twitter, Instagram, or whatever?
Yes, Anthony Mason Jr., Real Talk. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And first and foremost, thank you for having me, Statman. And you can reach me at my Twitter, my Instagram, Facebook, all the same. Young Mace Jr., Young without an O, YUNGMASEJR, Young Mace Jr. So you can reach me there. If you really want to speak to me, you can catch me at my email, antmacejr.com, antmacejr@gmail.com. ANTMASEJR@gmail.com. So I love to speak to anybody that wants to speak, especially if you're in any of these entertainment lanes and we can just converse because I feel like it's all about who you know, it's not what you know. So if you got a network of good people and everybody wants to speak, you can contact me there. Like again, log on to my website, check that out, www.southernfried.tv. So check us out on there.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So for myself, Trip Young, Mark the Statman Skevich, Anthony Mason Jr., we got to get out of here. We will see you next week. Oh, shout out to Derek Jeter for moving into 7th on the all-time hits list. And we will be back live right here next week, same time on BronxNet. Real Fans, Real Talk, the best TV series on BronxNet. It's on the files, baby. Check us out. The Beta Awards. We got it. It's us.